Great. So even now, I'm going to hide the actual ridges there, but instead, I'm going to visualize the collision fields themselves. Because this is how it's actually being done in the PyroSolver. Let's make sure that it's working. And we can see that it is. See these grid-like things here? Even the ground plane, actually, interestingly, is being displayed in the same manner. So within the bounds of the simulation, it rasterized the ground plane, because it's it's an infinitely large plane and it goes down forever. So we see that here, and we see these chunks here where were the actual ridges. The ridges got turned into BDBs, which then got sourced into the volumes being used by the simulation. So we can play it, and now we'll see the rigids will drag, will pull on the smoke. Cool. And we can definitely see that happening. And to further drive that point home, I'm going to stop the sim, and I'm going to actually not have any. So remember, when we turned the velocity off here before, nothing moved. But now I'm going to turn the velocity off, and you'll still see the collisions drag against everything. So you'll see these cool these plumes here that are coming out because of that. One way to, if you want to see more of that, and you can definitely see it happening over here and here and here, there's lots of little collision parameters on the PyroSolver itself. You go to advanced collision, or rather, I would get this wrong, relationship collisions. Extrapolate into collisions. You'll see here, it copies the density into it. It gives a sense of a stickiness, because some of the smoke will now live inside of our rigid, or rather our sourced collision volumes. And so it'll kind of get dragged out of it. Now, of course, that's not entirely accurate, but it definitely looks a little bit better. It just helps. I usually keep that on. It helps with the collisions a little bit. And in fact, if you turn off correct collisions is a weird name. Correct collisions is saying that, hey, just delete all the density that's inside of our collision volumes. That's really all it means. I don't know. The collisions physics are correct either way. It's just saying that, well, technically the density shouldn't live inside of the volume, so just delete it in case it got in there. You can see by turning that off, it really helps this sense of the streaking. Because now, basically, the density inside of the collision is allowed to leak out instead of it being deleted wholesale. Cool. So that's the thrust of the new stuff from this lesson in terms of the simulation. Now we're just going to want to quickly incorporate some of the stuff from the previous lessons, namely some disturbance, some dissipation, things of that nature.